The dumbest thing a man can do is date a single mom, and I'm saying this as a single mom myself. The only exception to the rule is if the man has kids himself and he's a single dad. That's the only rule that is the exception. And I say this because, one, it's stupid as a man to take on somebody else's kids when you don't have kids of your own. Now, do I think it makes women less valuable? No, I think that's a stupid rhetoric. But the idea that you're going to get emotionally attached to someone else's kids, and then if you break up and never see them again, y'all are stupid. But not only that, it's like, as a single mom, I don't want to date somebody that doesn't have kids because he's not going to be in tune to automatically or naturally or organically be the dad. But also, if I didn't have my daughter, I wouldn't be out here trying to date a man with kids. Like, I get the logic behind it, because I'm not going to be emotionally invested in somebody else's kids. Now, in my opinion, if he has kids and I have kids, then we're both equally risking the same thing if it doesn't work out, if that makes sense. Like, me as a single mom, I would never date someone with no kids. Like, so I don't know why women get so offended when men are like, oh, I don't date single moms. Like, I totally get it as a single mom myself. There's too much risk and not enough reward. Okay, bye.
Amen to that, right? Kudos to this woman for admitting and saying what other women are just too afraid to say out of fear of being canceled. Bravo, right? So she said a lot there, but everything she said was true. Okay, everything she said was true. There was one point she made that I disagreed with, which is she said being a single mom doesn't disvalue you in any way. Absolutely no. I disagree. Being a single mom does lower your value in every way possible. It makes you a liability for men with or without kids. Okay? So she was saying like she'd only date a guy who has kids of his own. But even from what I've found, is that many women out there will accept guys who have kids. They don't care if he's a single dad. Whereas most guys will not accept a woman who has kids, right? At least not for a relationship. Dude might, sleep with her, have sex with her, but he's not going to consider her for any type of serious relationship. At least not these days. Maybe back in the day, guys were more willing to make exceptions because women were more feminine back then, and they were more accountable of their mistakes, and women were just there was none of this hoflation going on. So different story back in the day. However, she made a lot of fabulous points, this woman, about why you should not date a single mom, many of which we've made here on the 33 Secrets. I mean, those are not your kids. Those kids, I don't know how many guys that I've known in my life, even before I started teaching dating advice, even guys that I played football with, right? Guys I played ball with that got involved with a woman who had kids, grew to love the kid, even though he didn't have any kids of his own, grew to love the kid. And then as soon as a woman wanted to dump him, she cut him off from her and the kid, even though the kid still wanted to see him, right? Even though the kids still want to see him, she was like, nope, you can't see either of us ever again, right? And she was able to cut him off. There's nothing you can do about it because you're not that kid's dad, right? Not to mention, when that kid starts acting up, you're over the house to try to pick up his mom, take her on a date. I mean, that kid starts throwing things at you, throwing his toys at you, his little Legos or whatever. Starts throwing his Capri Sun in your face or whatever it is he has. You can't really say much, right? I mean, because you can't really discipline him and spank him and all that because it's not your kid. So there's just so many drawbacks to dating a single mom. I don't think it's worth the risk of, I just don't think it's worth the risk. So yeah. And I'm just glad she said all this because she did make a lot of great points. of why you shouldn't date a single mom. And I'm glad I found at least one single mother out there who was willing to speak the truth, because if you look at most of these single moms out there on their social media, they're constantly shaming guys for not dating them, saying like, oh, you're too insecure with yourself, oh, you're not a man yet, you can't date a single mom. And it's like, are you kidding me? I'm not a man for dating a single mom. No, I'm even more of a man for being smart enough to date a single mom, more of a man for, you know, denying the temptation of dating a single mom, because we all know how easy it is to sleep with a single mom, right? All, you know, while the kid's in the other room sleeping away, you know, counting sheep, you know, she's banging away in the other room. You know, she got her feet up in the air, and like some random dude from the dating app is over and banging her, and another guy the following night will be over, then her booty call will be over on the weekend. I mean, it's really kind of disgusting when you think about it. These chicks have been ran through so much, it's really insane. But regardless, on to the next clip, shall we?
The other day I was talking with a friend about how men in their like late 30s and even 40s will date a woman for like 1 to 2 months and then break up with them and tell them, well, I just wasn't ready for a relationship. And my friend was like, how are these men not ready for a relationship? They're single and in their 30s and 40s. And it dawned on me that these men are not ready for a partnership. As women are standing up and requesting more from men in relationships, what these men are actually saying is that I am ready for a relationship. I'm ready for a relationship with traditional values where a woman takes care of me. You weren't taking care of me. You want a partnership. I'm not willing to show up and meet you halfway. These men are ready for relationships. They're not ready for partnerships because they don't want to do the work to meet someone halfway, and they want a woman who's just going to cater to them like their moms.
This chick is absolutely, undeniably incorrect. Okay, men, believe it or not, are always ready for a relationship, but they are only ready for a relationship with the right girl. Okay, no matter what he tells you, I'm taking a break from dating, oh, I'm just want to be free right now, don't want a girlfriend, all this. Hey, if the right girl came along, believe me, he would jump in that relationship, right? It's the same for women, okay? It's the same for women. When I hear guys go, oh, she told me she wasn't ready to be with anybody right now, doesn't want to, she's taking a break from dating. And I'm like, okay, so if Magic Mike came along and knocked on her door and wanted to take her out, she'd say no? Well, it's different right now. So yeah, it's not that guys are not ready for a relationship, because we're always ready for a relationship, but with the right girl. Because if a dime piece came along, like a guest model looking chick, came into our lives, was feminine, was cool, was an anti-feminist, had traditional values, was nurturing, all this, believe me, we jump right in. What? Okay, cool. Break's over. Simple as that. But she's playing a little mental gymnastics here, and you know, she's doing what most of these insecure modern women do, which is just to shame us for why we won't get into a relationship with her, who is basically in her 40s now, which is another thing I should point out. This woman is in her 40s trying to talk about guys don't want a relationship because they want their mommy. It's like, no, we don't want a relationship because you're 40 years old. Simple as that, right? We want a relationship, but we want her to be 20. Right? It's as simple as that. Why is that so hard to figure out? Why is that so hard to understand, man? We're okay with a relationship as long as she's not 40 years old and, you know, and full of herself and egotistical and constantly talking about herself. We're down. Okay, believe me, we are down. One more clip.
It's 10:45 a.m. on a Saturday. I am 29 and single, and I don't have kids yet. Here's what your Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29 and you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15. Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night, and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out, and I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why I was in bed for so long, and I was just scrolling on my phone and I saw a picture of shakshuka and I thought, you know what sounds really good? Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today because I have no plans and I don't have kids and I don't have a husband and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of some Real Housewives of New York. I'm also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend. Weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries. So I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you can do all these things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to really pays off when I'm hard on myself for not being where society tells me I should be in life.
And this is really why they say that modern women today are more narcissistic than they've ever been before. Everything is about me, me, me. Everything is about themselves, right? There's really no room for anybody else in her life, much less even a pet, right? But I mean, I really believe that true joy comes in life from sharing and having quality people in your life. And with animals as well. I mean, even as I shoot these videos, like I've got like gizmos over here. Cash is sleeping. Got their little stroller in the back. I've got my bigger car today, not my DeLorean, obviously, but I've got a little stroller for Cash so I could get him out because he doesn't really walk as much anymore. But I get joy in these things, right? I get joy in these things. I get joy in like hanging with them, even shooting just these videos with them. I mean, I get joy in it, right? Sharing with you guys, sharing these stories with you, and and just taking on the duties of an adult and having responsibility and not just like doing this me thing every day that I used to do when I was a teenager and into my early 20s. I used to live that lifestyle a lot. It was very hedonistic. It was all about me, my schedule. If I didn't want to go somewhere, like with friends asked me to go somewhere and I had better plans, I would go to those plans. And I look back on a lot of those things, and I mean, yeah, it was fun and everything, but there was a big emptiness also, right? Because again, you really get satisfaction and a feeling of reward from sharing and doing for others, right? That's why I really love doing these coaching videos for you guys. I love sharing these lessons with you. I love seeing you guys learn. I still take guys out. I love seeing you guys do cold approach and learn from my programs and have kids and get married, which is crazy to me still, right? It's like guys have gotten married and had children and whole families because of my teachings and my programs, but I'm just so like, wow, I'm just blown away by that, right? It makes me feel so good. And I can't imagine living a life where everything is just whatever I want to do. Me. Hey, Cash Gizmo, you stay home. I'm going to go to this concert right now. Stay here, right? I'm going to go do this with my girlfriend. Oh, yeah. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, Allie, stay home. I want to go do this. I like including people in my life, right? Yeah, I mean, but again, where I think we're living in a culture now of just complete narcissism, especially with modern women, where they kind of do this Chelsea Handler 2.0 type lifestyle where they think happiness is just living for yourself and yourself only, and it's a very vacuous lifestyle. It's kind of like guys always ask me like, what was it like to sleep with just so many women as you have, like so many like hot women, which I have. And I just said I just said at a point it just became vacuous, and that's why I never encourage people to fall, like guys who take my programs, to follow in my footsteps and become a professional pickup artist or anything. I always tell them, just use it for good and not for evil. Try to find, like one cool girl you could settle with, get yourself a few dating options from it, and then find one girl that you could just chill with and go the distance with and hang with for as long as you can, right? Like me and my girl been together now like going on 4 years pretty soon. And I'm totally happy, and I know if anything ever happened, I mean, I could easily just get back out there. It's not a big deal. Been doing it my whole life. Regardless, you get joy out of like sharing, right? out of sharing. It's kind of like my DeLorean, right? I mean, if I were to just keep my DeLorean in my garage like a miser and just keep it all to myself, it wouldn't be as fun. But I like taking it to car shows. I go to like different cars and coffee meetups on the weekends a lot. I wake up early for that sucker, which isn't easy because I hate getting up early. Wake up early, it's always at like 9 in the morning or sometimes 8. So I get up early and take the car there just so I could see other people and enjoy it, take photos of it. I get joy from that. Or if I'm driving on the freeway, somebody's whipping out their camera phone like, oh my God, it's a DeLorean. You know, I get joy out of that, right? I get more joy out of that than actually like having the car all to myself, right? I mean, yeah, if that makes sense. So when I see women like her talk about like, oh, you know, look at me, went to the Beyonce concert last night, got hungover, woke up hungover, was drunk last night, and woo, see the life with no kids, woohoo. You know, to me, that's a pretty empty, that's a pretty empty and sad existence. You know, and it's always these women who are, as I've said a million times, they're always in their late 20s, like she's 29, about to hit 30, right? Usually in that pocket from like 29 to about 33. They're in this pocket where they still feel like they're like 19 years old, but you're not, but once the attention starts to dwindle, imagine this chick being, 39 or 45, like still doing this. I mean, essentially now you're a loser. I mean, technically back in the day, 29 still doing this, you're a loser, right? You're about to turn 30, son. Why are you still getting drunk and going to concert? What are you, 15? I mean, so yeah. But I'm not surprised that she follows like Beyonce. She probably goes to like Taylor Swift concerts also. That's a red flag to me if somebody's a Swiftie. They call them Swifties? Whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why she's parading this lifestyle as if it's like something that is positive. And, meanwhile, here she is on her TikTok having to basically get confirmation bias from the people who follow her. They're like, yeah, look at this lifestyle. Oh, no kids, no husband. Ooh, yeah. Even though statistically, all the statistics say that no, you're going to be miserable being unmarried without kids, right? As you get older, you can't keep, you can if you want. You'll look really pathetic if this is what you're still doing when you're 39 or 49, right? And this is your life, and you have nothing to show for it except for your corporate job and, getting drunk and going to these concerts because you don't have children. I don't know, right? But as always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think is a nice coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, please drop them in the comments below, and I will see you there in my comments.
And with that said, I am going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you guys actually subscribe to my channel. So please make sure you're subscribed, and also feel free to share my coaching videos with other like-minded friends of yours who also want to become their best versions of themselves. Not only do I want you to subscribe, but I also want you to tell your friends about our channel and have them subscribe as well so we can reach other men, okay? And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I am talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the exact same type of women that myself and my students are out there cold approaching and bringing into our lives every single week. And I kid you not, guys, we're doing this every single week. We're doing this consistently, okay? Consistently. We're not having any dry spells or anything like that. We're doing this consistently. This is the absolute best way to support my work. And right now it's only $1. This is the absolute best way to support my work. So if you love what I do, if you love my content, if you love my DeLorean, I love this car, then jump into 7 Months of Mastery. It's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It only takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.